if you want your life to be successful, you will not let yourself do certain things because you're just no good at them. Once you get that picture down, then you can find the paths wherever the paths are. You're open-minded.
How you realized that you couldn't trust that you were always right.
Yeah, well, I guess like you know, you come along and how do you find out? You get whacked in the head enough times and you say, I could be wrong. And how do you know I'm right? In my case was that in 1980, 81, I had calculated that American banks had lent a lot more money to countries that would not be able to pay the debt back. A lot of money, banking crisis. Mexico defaulted on its debt in August 1982, and I thought that we're now going to go into an economic crisis because a number of the other countries followed, and that was transpiring that way. And I started my business in 75, and at 82, I think we had like 8 people, and we loved each other, and we were doing that thing, but I couldn't have been more wrong. It was the exact bottom in the stock market, so I was very publicly wrong, and even more painfully, had to let go of those people. And I was so broke that I had to borrow $4,000 from my dad to help to pay for family bills. I mean, it was painful. But you know, okay, now you got a baseball bat to the head, and how many does it take? And then you think, okay, how do I know I'm right? How do I know I'm right? So I was very audacious. I didn't want to lose that. But, you know, now you're faced with the choice. You know, like the way I look at it is, I want a great life. How do I have the greatest life? But I can have the risk of being wrong. And then everything changed because I figured it out. You know, everybody crashes, and then you're faced with that crash. And you either have an epiphany or you don't. Now, you either walk off the field and say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, and you give up on that, going after your audacious goals, or you gain really humility. How do you feel that you're going to be wrong? And so I think then that whole notion is finding the smartest people I could find who disagree with me. Also, I'm in the investment management business that you have to bet against the consensus. Otherwise you can't make money because it's in the price. And you have to bet against the consensus and be right. And so to gain that humility was the thing. So you either get off the field or you learn.
Were you already meditating by this point?
Yeah.
And do you think that meditation gave you the ability to get out from under the control of your emotions?
Yes. Meditation was fantastic. Meditation is the biggest gift that I can give anyone. And I would say more than anything, it is whatever reason for success I've had. In your mind, we think, what do you want? And the reality is, when you look at the neuroscience and psychology, that there are different parts of your brain that want different things. And so, in the simplest sense, there is the logical part of your brain that you're conscious of. It's called the conscious. And you think you're being logical and you want to make those decisions. And then there's the subliminal, below the limbic system, part of the brain, which is the emotional, and it's not as conscious to you, but it has more of an influence on you than really the logical one. And so they're not aligned. Meditation helps to deal with the alignment of those two things, because both are valuable. That alignment is the path to the future, because you only have to know what the best things to do are. And for God's sakes, don't be overly opinionated. Just because you have that opinion, it doesn't mean it's true. So that's where the two U's and the alignment really is so important. So you're creating a connection. When you transcend, I do transcendental meditation, when you transcend, I'm not conscious and I'm not unconscious. I am in the subconscious. I'm not aware, but if somebody make a little noise like that, boom. So it's not like being asleep. And that's also, by the way, where creativity comes from. It's like you go take a hot shower and a great idea comes, not because you're muscling it. So when you're having that, then you're calm and your natural state, and then these things bubble up and it helps that alignment.
Give me a couple things that I can do to get more out of a minute.
First of all, If you do make your passion and your work the same thing, then it's great, right? Because your passion, whatever it might be, you're a painter or you're an entrepreneur and whatever that is, and you find that more enjoyable than going to a ball game, let's say, then that becomes a passionate thing. That's one thing. Second, to know how to work with people who can do things really well to get the most leverage out of people, okay? Third, how do you get yourself really, what are the right work habits? Anyway, there's a whole bunch of those kinds of things where how do I what you say, how do I get it done without me doing it? Who's the best to do it and how do I get it? And all of a sudden you open yourself up to all different possibilities of how you can do that, right? No time. Struggle well or tough love. Okay, I put those words together because that exemplifies the fact that people don't think they go together. And so if you start to realize struggling well is what will get you what you want, okay, rather than avoiding struggle, that's what I'm trying to convey. And so if you realize that, then you will go to the struggle. You won't be averse to the struggle. Because if you don't struggle, you won't get stronger. So there are a lot of different ways of how to struggle well, but if you know, that struggling is a good thing. Okay, if you want to be strong, it's a good thing. If you worry, you don't have to worry. And if you don't worry, you have to worry. Okay? Because what I mean is, if you're worrying about what can go wrong, chances are you will create the protections against that thing going wrong, and therefore that's good. And if you're not worrying about the things that are going to go wrong, then the things you never expect are going to come and hit you. Okay? And so it sounds counterintuitive. If you worry, you don't have to worry. And if you don't worry, you better worry. But what it means is that process of, go to the thing, go to it, and enjoy it. View these things as puzzles. Your personality will change. You'll enjoy it, okay? Because life is a puzzle. It's a going through the jungle.